What if we had to categorize our marriage?
What if?
You know how people are always trying to break down and put labels on everything?
Need to stop it.
Everything. What if we had to label our marriage based on our high school or college years in terms? Would we be in our freshman year?
We've been our old year.
Our sophomore year?
Old.
Our junior year?
Nah, just old.
Our senior year? Or will we be PhDs in marriage?
Oh, we got a doctor.
Dr. Rufus.
Dr.
Jenny. Doctorate.
Well, where's my stethoscope?
Hey, I've been examined, that's for sure.
I need to hear some heartbeat.
I've been examined and you've been analyzed.
Heartbeats to the center.
Coming up on Surviving Marriage Podcast, what term would your marriage be?
Welcome to the Surviving Marriage Podcast with Rufus and Jenny, marriage educators, best-selling authors, and relationship disruptors, giving you marriage education from decades of marriage experience. Here's Rufus and Jenny triplets.
Thank you to Let's Get Checked for sponsoring this video.
Let's Get Checked makes professional health testing easy by letting you get tested without having to visit a healthcare provider.
Choose your test online, and it will be delivered to you in discreet packaging.
Once your sample arrives in the laboratory, confidential results will be available from your secure online account within 2 to 5 days.
Once your results are available, they will be reviewed by a physician. A nurse will then contact you for a consultation over the phone. In some cases, the physician will be able to provide prescriptions to the pharmacy of your choosing.
Let's Get Checked laboratories are CLIA approved and CAP accredited, which are the highest ranking levels of accreditation. Let's Get Checked lets you avoid uncomfortable office visits by providing you with access to home testing and professional medical consultations without ever having to leave your home. It's never been this simple to get tested.
So if you want to get tested at home, visit trylgc.com/Rufus and Jenny.
Special offer for Rufus and Jenny viewers. Click the link in this video description and get 30% off of your test. Now, what do you need to do? Let's get checked.
This video is sponsored by BetterHelp.
We just did a podcast on counseling versus therapy. It's definitely good for you.
Without a healthy mind, being truly happy and at peace is hard. The good news is therapy works.
But what is therapy exactly? It's whatever you want it to be. Maybe you're not feeling motivated right now and would like some tools to help. Or maybe you're feeling insecure in your relationships or at work, not dealing well with stress. Whatever you need, it's time to stop being ashamed of normal human struggles and start feeling better, because you deserve to be happy. And now you don't have to worry about finding an in-person therapist near you to help.
BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with the therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera that you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy and can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours.
Join the millions of people who are seeing what online therapy is really about. It's always a good time to invest in yourself because you are your greatest asset. And special offer to Rufus and Jenny, listeners and viewers, you can get 10% off your first month of professional therapy at betterhelp.com/RufusandJenny. That's betterhelp.com/RufusandJenny. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video.
We're going to talk about our book a little bit. Our book, Surviving Marriage in the 21st Century. You guys see that?
We wrote a book that has changed our lives.
We started finding ourselves in international destinations. We've done book signings in Dubai. We've been to Cuba. And even last month, we found ourselves in Bucharest.
But let me tell y'all something. Ain't no black people in Bucharest.
Our book has transcended race, religion, age, ethnicity, and just about every demographic you can name.
We've appeared in major media, TV, print, and radio with speaking engagements in front of thousands around the world. And now we have a course to show you how we did it and how you can too. If you've been wanting to write a book and not sure how to get it done, this course is for you.
Welcome to all of our global listeners around the world. Welcome to another episode of Surviving Marriage Podcast. And somebody is getting this notification right now and about this new episode and probably saying, holy freaking moly, where have they been?
Whoa, don't be dropping no F-bombs up in here.
Where have they been? First of all, we did not pod fade. I promise y'all, we did not pod fade. If you don't know, what that is when you abandon your podcast. Nope, we're still here.
I was trying to.
See,
I was trying to get some rest.
What had happened was that we got super busy into our book tour. It was huge. It was a huge undertaking, and the logistics, the orders, the traveling, we were tired.
That lady was trying to eat up all my food.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what it is to do a book tour, it's, having events every weekend and getting out to the people, and there's press and there's different things like that. And
it's having to smile, and your smile just stuck.
Yeah, and it's just the two of us. And so a lot of what had to happen, we had to do ourselves, like, setting everything up. And it's not just about setting up the book signing, but then you got to get logistics involved. And we actually drove cross country to Phoenix, and from Phoenix to Denver in less than 24 hours.
Well, I did enjoy the drive.
Yeah.
And the food. I didn't enjoy the snakes,
It was a huge undertaking.
I think there was a cobra standing up looking at me.
We needed our rest, Hey,
sure did. Now I got it.
Rest. We were having media interviews for our new book. Send me that recipe. Y'all got it? It's available on Amazon.
Well, send it to me then.
Get an autographed copy on our web store at RufusandJenny.com, or it's available on Amazon. And we were having media interviews. And if you guys know anything like that, about media interviews, when you're traveling, you got to switch over. It's like a switch mode that you got to go into, to either give a print interview, a radio interview, TV interview, and different things like that.
Is it like a dance?
Yeah,
Switch.
So we've kind of just been going through it. And then we looked
Switch again.
We looked up and we saw we still had these 3 episodes hanging out here for the season. So we said, hey, guess what? We need to put these out.
Switch 2 times.
We need to put these out, okay? But would you look at that, dear? We are now 6-time authors, international speakers, podcast hosts, and we would not be doing this with the first few years of our marriage.
Well, can I go back to 5?
We would not. The first few years of our marriage, this would have been even an extra large undertaking. Now, mind you, we got married in 1989, so none of this existed. Podcast
You the one was having all them kids.
Podcast didn't exist. Being able to put your own book out didn't exist. It was a different way, to be able to do that.
You can put your own book out. Just cost you $25,000.
And people like us were not traveling international with an international audience. Not folks like us, a married couple, like us. No, that was not happening. So the first few years of our marriage, let's go.
Could you please talk about yourself, please?
1 through 5. We're going to talk about that because folks are all happy about these years. A lot of folks are all happy about these years, and we're going to call that.
What do you mean these years?
1 through 5.
Oh.
Yeah, 1 through 5.
They happy about 1 through 5? I wasn't happy about 1 through 5.
And yeah, and yeah. But back to
1 through 5 was a learning curve.
Back to the book tour just a little bit. I just want you guys to know everything it takes in preparation. I don't think people realize, and I don't think people realize how much we really do. And see, a lot of stuff that I mentioned, I didn't even mention about the counseling of people, of couples that we do. Okay, so we're going to finish up these last 3 episodes of season 4, and then we're going to take a scheduled break. a real break, a vacation.
Is that what they call a hiatus?
Right. We're going to take a hiatus.
Hiatus.
Yeah. And then come back in the
How
fall.
high will we go?
Inshallah. And who knows what we will have, transpired by the time that we return, maybe September, October. And, we may have hired a team by then.
All right. You mess around with that hiatus, it'll be about 15, 20,000 feet up in the air.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting up out of here. Well,
I know you is.
That's 36,000 feet for flights.
Oh, that's 36?
That's 36,000
That's above
feet.
the clouds?
Yeah.
The only way to fly?
We're definitely going to do a second leg of our book tour.
I don't know how to do the stanky leg.
But we're just going to have to figure out, once again, it's just about logistics. And, of course, gas prices, we'll see how that goes. Because gas prices.
Ain't nobody worried about no gas prices now. And I ain't saying we got it like that. I'm just saying, if people traveling, you ain't worried about gas prices too much here.
Yeah, I mean.
That's all I'm saying.
But even though if you have it, who wants to pay it?
Yeah, what you worried about it for if you're going to go anyway?
You know me, because, I'm budget queen. So, even though if you have it, who wants to pay that? All right.
I don't do budget. I just give them the money.
All right. So let's talk about our freshman year, years 1 through 5. We had all of our kids. We were in the military. We were very young. We didn't have a lot of money. We argued a lot.
I was trying to get up out of there.
A lot.
Too much.
But we had some good times.
Too much hearing that. Woo!
But we had some good times. We had some great times. We had some great times.
Yeah, but miniature golf was good to me.
And you know how
I did win.
When you go into high school or college and your first year is very uneasy and you're acclimating, it's a different world. It's a different world.
But what is it when you're going to the studio
world.
Instead of going to college?
That was our marriage.
Would that be the same thing?
That was our marriage. Even though we thought we knew each other, got along good, similar goals, etc. Marriage changed everything.
Oh, I knew whoever that was that moved into my house. I don't know what it was or who it was. I mean,
moving in together changed everything. Everything. So let's talk about some things that we could have done differently. Leave
me alone.
Because we are so far removed from those years, we could talk about that. We could go back and talk about the
Y'all
hindsight.
better leave each other alone.
And put this information out here to help other people because we're not within 1 to 5 still figuring it out.
I'm just trying to tell you, sometimes people don't want to hear your voice at that point.
Yeah.
And then just the first year.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to hear your voice no more. Can you move on?
1 through 5. The whole acclamation of 2 becoming 1 is work. And we didn't even know where to start because we were too strong-minded people.
Oh, I knew where to start it, at the door.
With our own ideas.
I started at the front door. I was ready to open it and walk out that joker.
Yeah. And getting married is more than playing house. I don't think people realize how much of a switch that is because you're not returning home when things aren't clicking. It's like you don't have somewhere to go back to. It's like you have to stay there, and just figure it out.
You can go in the closet though. I should have went in the closet a couple of times just to be in darkness or something. I don't know.
It's having hard conversations to get over the hurdles, and all of our conversations weren't civil.
That is messed up when especially when a house is probably better than an apartment. If you starting out in an apartment, yeah, you're right. It ain't too many places you can go stick your head out the window or something.
Exactly. And the walls are thin. Everybody knows your business.
Yeah, if you're
especially
loud,
if you get
everybody
loud,
gonna hear you.
If you get loud, there go that arguing couple.
They're gonna know who went out the night before and what happened.
Slamming doors and all that type of stuff. Everybody in the apartment complex gonna know your business. Okay. With hindsight being 20,
what in the world was you doing in that apartment?
With hindsight being 2020, we could have spoken better to one another. Our conflicts could have been handled better. But we were very young and we didn't know that the ugly would hit hard.
I mean, look, when you headstrong, you again, I can only give people the advice to say it's best sometimes to just listen. Even if they say, you're not listening to me, shake your head, yes, I am.
Then you lying.
Hey, I'm moving on.
You ain't listening, you lying.
I'm trying to say how to stop some of them conflicts. Because soon as you open your mouth, it don't matter what you got to say. They ain't going to like what you're saying if it ain't according to what they feel you should be saying.
Exactly.
So you got to leave it alone.
Conflict is tricky. It's tricky. All right.
But be honest. Look, I ain't never telling nobody not to be honest. Always be honest in your marriage. Just know when to open your mouth. Every occasion ain't the time to open your mouth.
All right, so let's move on to sophomore year, which are the years 6 through 12. I would call these years the development years. Why? Because most can't believe that they're still around after 5 years. So they start planning to do more. Some couples buy a house, some have a kid or another kid, some start a business, etc.
More problems.
Or some go back to school.
More problems.
You feel as if you've got some type of foundation under your belt. So now we've talked about the 7-year itch before. We've talked about that, and that happens within this time. I feel things have totally changed since social media. Cheating creeps in much sooner than 7 years. Social media has changed like a lot of things because there's so many more temptations out there as far as marriage is concerned, and there's so many other ways. Yeah, because I wasn't
creeping in no DMs back then.
Exactly. DMs didn't exist, and so there's so many other ways that you could actually cheat and try to hide it. Why do you think we see so many videos about people and access to cell phones? Because smartphones came in and changed.
You was able to
like the whole aspect.
Hide behind the phone.
Yeah. So
I'm an open book. Look all you want.
By the time we were 6 years married, we had 3 kids, had moved to Atlanta, and had bought a house.
We only had 3. Felt like I had 5.
Stop it. I remember very distinctly a lot of your single family members that had no foundation talked crap about us.
Are we still dropping F-bombs up in here? Aren't we not supposed to do that?
They talk crap about us and what we were doing, like how we were living our lives,
doing what we wasn't doing,
moving forward. Family can be extra toxic, and had I let them get to me, I would have left.
Oh, they were trying to get to you, girl. They were trying to get to you.
I would have left you to deal with your family. It's like, oh, okay, your family is all that and that much or whatever. You can have your family.
Back then, I was cool with the deuces.
No, you could have your family. I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about
2 thumbs up.
Nothing.
No, yeah, again, man, working on you guys, I'm saying I can tell this to people, working on you guys early on without that family influence, that goes a long way, because that family influence can break some stuff up like really fast.
Yeah.
I know my boy was like, hey man, we ain't boys no more. Really, dog. I do have a wife and kid. I'm like, it wasn't even just a wife. At that point, I had a wife and kids. And then you want to move in so I can take care of you too.
No,
I'm just saying.
I don't get that.
You told me 2 months. Why you still here 4 months later? That's a strain on my marriage and my family.
Had to put your foot down. Had to be like Martin, get to stepping.
Oh, and family will come back. Don't worry about it. Let them go and be mad. Do their thing. When they get a family, they understand you. But if they ain't got a family, they ain't going to understand you anyway.
When they get a family, that's when they understand.
That's why you got to push on. But I could tell people that because I was still trying to hang on. Hey, we grew up. We ran the streets together. I can't just let my boy hang.
Yeah.
But if I didn't let him
prioritize your marriage and your family.
I put a strain on my marriage trying to hang on to what we had back in the past.
All right, so moving on to junior year, which are years 13 through 19. Oh, see, these are the years where
I'm 19.
folks are
I'm going
really,
to. I was at the club.
these are the years that folks are really feeling themselves.
Mm.
Social media has people thinking that 10 years of marriage is a long time.
They leave that club
And
alone.
we see folks divorcing after 20 years. Some have teenagers during these years, which brings up a whole different element to your marriage. Them teenagers, woo,
Every couple of years, you're going to get a different element, something.
Yeah.
And then, with us as believers, we know that we're going to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, them teenagers make you want to kill them.
But see, I wasn't looking for the test pre-Islam. After Islam, I started looking for the test. Oh, this is a test, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
I got it. I got to pass this test. But before then, it was like, oh, this fool done lost his mind.
And see, what the teenagers brings in is more disagreements between the parents, or shall we say arguments, between spouses.
Yeah, because I wasn't disagreeing at that point.
I'm just going to say, we had boys. So there's a lot of testosterone flooding around up in here. Like, they were bulking up, lifting weights.
I don't know. You was talking to me so bad. I think some of my testosterone shrunk.
Their voices.
You were shrinking my testosterone.
Their voices got deep, and they tend to forget. I think they kind of forgot, like, who mama and daddy was. So we had to check our sons several times to help them remember.
Yeah, because my voice was still right here. But his voice got down right here.
Exactly.
I said, so because you got the deep voice, you the man now?
Yeah. Like, yeah. And I think a lot of boys, how
many fights you done had?
I think a lot of dads can kind of testify to this, that their boys get to a certain age and feel that they could take dad.
Boy, I grew up fighting.
But
I literally just asked dude, do you think you can beat me? He said, yes. Like it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
He told me
that's how they feeling themselves. That's that testosterone. That's that, that teenage. Yeah.
Girl, it wasn't no more questions asked. I was like George Jefferson, give me room. Like George Jefferson up in there, give me room up in here.
And we never let them play us against one another, because we've seen couples that without the kids, that they just don't have anything to talk about. But we talked about life after the kids.
Well, we started talking about everything, even while we were, especially during our teenage, because we knew what we did as teenagers.
Right.
So again, but let's not forget how we were as teenagers and the things we wanted to do. That's one of the worst things a parent can do. And then think your child ain't got them tendencies.
They tried to be slick, but mama and
said,
daddy
what your mama
slicker.
say? She told me to come ask you. We'll go ask her. Tell me what she said when you come back.
Man, we was slick. And trust me, I had a mom that was like Sherlock Holmes. Shoot, I had to come.
Shirley?
I became Remington Steele on my
Where's
children.
Shirley at?
Hey, for real, we just turned it up a notch. And then the couples that after the kids, because you're coming to that stage, now getting up on 19 years of marriage, when they become empty nesters, that they realize that their marriage was held together only because of the kids. Like, a lot of them don't have anything to talk about. They don't have common ground.
Y'all,
they don't have anything because they've put so much into the children.
That's the worst thing y'all can do.
Yeah, that their marriage has lapsed.
Y'all better put that marriage in. Even while you raising your kids, that marriage has to come in there. You know why? Because them kids finna leave. And even them kids is going to test. Those were some big tests during the teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
You are hit. That is 100.
Huge.
So keeping that marriage and you guys' communication, and when y'all fighting against the kid, that's a whole nother level, right? Because we was like, they tried to get me, girl. Mm-hmm. They tried to come to me before they came to you. Yeah, they thought daddy was a little pushover.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the senior year, which are years 20 to 24. That brings us to these years where we see people getting divorced because they spent their whole marriage sweeping issues under the rug.
They spent their whole marriage with their family. They spent their whole marriage with their girlfriends. They spent their whole marriage with their job. They spent their whole marriage with their children.
And now
but not each other.
And now the kids are up and out of the house that things come to a head.
The job, you finna retire. Matter of fact, we had a couple that now they never came. That we were supposed to counsel, and they never came. The dude was retiring. Remember, I told you, he said he was gonna call us because he retired and they didn't know what to do.
Exactly.
I'm like, what in the don't know what to do is y'all?
You know,
boy?
And those that have made it to this milestone and maintain their marriage, you know, start to experience some wonderful years and some years of bliss.
If you maintain the marriage.
You know, having more free time, having more money.
Don't be doing my boy now.
Money.
Ain't nobody JJ up in here.
Starting checking off the bucket list, walking around naked. I just had to say it because I mean it's I
don't do that.
It's a goal for some people.
You
some
might
people
have ghosts. They might look at me or something.
They can't wait to get the kids out the house so they can walk around naked. They just say it, okay?
Well, and then when they come over, it's like, man, how long you gonna be here, man?
Right.
Bro need to be open up in here, and I can't be open right now.
They got me out my comfort zone. Okay, so when we wrote our book, our first book, Surviving Marriage in the 21st Century, 13 Easy Tips that can help you get to 20 years and beyond, it wasn't until we reached these years right here. We were in our senior year. Okay, we needed to get over all of our hurdles.
I hope I graduated with honors
before we felt comfortable in writing the book. Before we even felt comfortable.
I couldn't even give y'all this at 15 years.
No.
It had to be the 20 years, because that's that mark when it said, we did it.
Yeah.
I actually said we did it. We kept our marriage together. We raised them children. I'm ready to retire.
If you think about it, by the time...
You was ready to travel and spend money?
By the time you get to your senior year in high school, you're pretty much learned everything you need to make life decisions, and by the time you get to your senior year in college, if you don't have to go like be a fifth year senior or something like that, you're ready to graduate. That's it. You've learned it. Okay. So then what to do? What to do next?
To push on.
Next level, PhD. 25 years and beyond.
I got my cords.
PhD. So actually,
I got the gold cords.
This level right here is rare. Just like a PhD.
I didn't get the cords in high school, but I got them now.
PhD, yep. Not many couples make it here. The journey ends so much sooner, so it is a rare club. And if you make it here, the sky is the limit as to what you can do.
How you feel about doing it.
Keeping the spark alive is one of the utmost importance. No matter how long you've been married, keeping it fresh is necessary. And we're blessed to be here going on 33 years of marriage.
Is that all?
We're definitely PhD level. Okay. So in those 33 years, here's 3 things that we do to keep it fresh. I'm going to make this really, really quick. All right. Number 1, make sure that each other is good every day. Every day. I don't think it's a day go by that we don't ask each other, you good? You good?
How you feeling today?
Exactly. Something you need, you good?
Do you feel like raw? Or do you feel like cooking something?
Now he's talking about food, okay? All right. So
Tassilis. I'm just giving them a shout out. I'm sorry.
It's not a day that goes by that we don't make sure that each other's good in some type of
Hopefully
aspect,
next time make my sandwich bigger than what it was.
Number 2, stay aligned with our mission and goals. See, our marriage has a mission, and we have a Dawa mission, and we have goals, and that has to do with our marriage.
My goal is to get more people to 20 years and beyond.
Yeah, so that's part of our goal. So we stay aligned with that daily. Number 3, talk about and start checking off things off our bucket list. All this.
I don't got no bucket list.
All of this last month, while we have not been anywhere, traveled, different things like that or whatever, we've been talking about what we about to do. Okay, so we talk about.
I've just been listening to you
and stay aligned with that. Okay, so it's simple stuff. Once you get to this point, after 25 years, it's simple stuff. Not sure why people try to complicate things, but, it can be simple. Marriage can be simple, okay? We'll be right back with your food for thought. Hold what you got.
Thank you to Let's Get Checked for sponsoring this video.
Let's Get Checked makes professional health testing easy by letting you get tested without having to visit a healthcare provider.
Choose your test online, and it will be delivered to you in discreet packaging.
Once your sample arrives in the laboratory, confidential results will be available from your secure online account within 2 to 5 days.
Once your results are available, they will be reviewed by a physician. A nurse will then contact you for a consultation over the phone. In some cases, the physician will be able to provide prescriptions to the pharmacy of your choosing.
Let's Get Checked laboratories are CLIA approved and CAP accredited, which are the highest ranking levels of accreditation. Let's Get Checked lets you avoid uncomfortable office visits by providing you with access to home testing and professional medical consultations without ever having to leave your home. It's never been this simple to get tested.
So if you want to get tested at home, visit trylgc.com/Rufus and Jenny.
Special offer for Rufus and Jenny viewers. Click the link in this video description and get 30% off of your test. Now, what do you need to do? Let's get checked.
This video is sponsored by BetterHelp.
We just did a podcast on counseling versus therapy. It's definitely good for you.
Without a healthy mind, being truly happy and at peace is hard. The good news is therapy works.
But what is therapy exactly? It's whatever you want it to be. Maybe you're not feeling motivated right now and would like some tools to help. Or maybe you're feeling insecure in your relationships or at work, not dealing well with stress. Whatever you need, it's time to stop being ashamed of normal human struggles and start feeling better, because you deserve to be happy. And now you don't have to worry about finding an in-person therapist near you to help.
BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with the therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera that you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy and can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours.
Join the millions of people who are seeing what online therapy is really about. It's always a good time to invest in yourself because you are your greatest asset. And special offer to Rufus and Jenny listeners and viewers, you can get 10% off your first month of professional therapy at betterhelp.com/Rufus and Jenny. That's betterhelp.com/Rufus and Jenny. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video.
We're going to talk about our book a little bit. Our book, Surviving Marriage in the 21st Century. You guys see that?
We wrote a book that has changed our lives.
We started finding ourselves in international destinations. We've done book signings in Dubai. We've been to Cuba. And even last month, we found ourselves in Bucharest.
But let me tell y'all something. Ain't no black people in Bucharest.
Our book has transcended race, religion, age, ethnicity, and just about every demographic you can name. We've appeared in major media, TV, print, and radio with speaking engagements in front of thousands around the world. And now we have a course to show you how we did it and how you can too. If you've been wanting to write a book and not sure how to get it done, this course is for you.
Food for thought. Food for thought.
In the food for thought for today, asking people for advice that you don't respect. This must be some new stuff. This must be some new stuff because I don't ever remember talking to people or asking for advice from people that I just didn't care for.
Well, you asked. What you asking for?
Exactly. Because it seems that you need to have a certain level of respect in order to receive what someone is saying
Matter
to
of
you.
fact, don't even ask somebody for any advice. I don't care who it is if you don't respect them. Because respect them is taking their advice and hopefully using it.
Yeah.
But if you ask me for advice and I see you do the opposite,
Yeah.
what'd you ask me for?
Otherwise, it's just wasting someone's time.
I could have spent that breath on somebody else.
Yeah, or you're just looking for attention. And that's just disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
I don't know what to call it. I just know that was a waste of time.
It's a big waste of
Can
time.
you quit wasting people's time here?
Exactly.
Only one can waste my time is you.
That's it for the food for thought for today. Just a few announcements before we go. Surviving Marriage on IG. If you have not gone there, follow us on IG, on Instagram at Surviving Marriage. Follow for book information, t-shirts, card games about this podcast. We'll be dropping new stuff and all kinds of different things.
Fresh cup of coffee.
Yeah. Learn a new language. Languia Talk. Check the link in our notes. There's a link that you can sign up to find out about learning different languages. Bread and Butter Farms. You guys know we're looking at a food shortage, right? So you guys need to get hooked up. Bread and Butter Farms. Zero chemical, organically grown produce, grass-fed meats, and free range and eggs. Join their farm share now. You get 10 weeks of vegetables for you and your family. They also accept EBT. www.breadandbutterfarms.com for more information. Nicole and Musa are doing wonderful things out there for the farm. Any of the farmers that's out there that's trying to contribute to good food, they're doing wonderful things, okay? Be sure to stay in touch across social media at Rufus and Jenny. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok. We got the TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? Make sure you subscribe. And this podcast, subscribe, rate, and review. Leave us a review. All of this stuff helps. It's free to do, and it all helps. Okay? You ready to ride there?
Chub is on the scene with.
Remember, marriage is a journey, not a sprint. We are surviving it, and you can too.
We are Rufus and Jenny. Until the next episode, y'all be cool.
We'll be men and wives.